There's a moment that changed everything in supernatural history. Dean Winchester standing outside Sam's Stanford dorm, car keys in his hand, watching his little brother study through the window. In the show, Dean knocks and drags Sam back into hunting life. But what if he didn't? What if Dean looked at Sam's normal, happy life and decided his brother deserved better than monsters and blood? That single moment of walking away, instead of knocking, would have rewritten the entire Winchester story. Think about it. The whole show starts because Dean needs Sam's help finding their father. But what if Dean thought Sam deserved happiness more than he needed backup? What if the big brother who always protected Sam decided the best protection was staying away? Today we're diving into a world where Sam Winchester becomes a lawyer, Dean hunts alone, and the apocalypse might have ended very differently. Trust me, this isn't just about two brothers taking different paths. This is about how one decision could have saved or doomed everyone. Let me paint you the picture of what Sam's life looked like before Dean showed up. At the start of the series, 22-year-old Sam is a senior at Stanford, in the process of applying for law school. Sam also has a girlfriend, Jessica, with whom he lives and secretly plans to marry. He attended prestigious Stanford University on a full scholarship and lived with a girlfriend, Jessica, in an apartment near campus. This wasn't just some college fling. Sam had built a real life for himself. Sam left the hunting life to pursue a career in law, and most likely would have married his college sweetheart, Jessica Moore. He was done with monsters, done with the family business, done with the constant danger. Sam Winchester wanted to save people through the legal system, not through silver bullets and salt circles. Now imagine Dean never disrupts that dream. Dean shows up on his doorstep to tell him their father is missing. But in our scenario, he doesn't. Dean makes the hardest choice of his life and leaves Sam alone. So what happens to Dean when he searches for John Winchester alone? Everything becomes 10 times harder. Dean doesn't have Sam's research skills, his ability to talk to people, or his talent for finding patterns. Dean sought out Sam because their father, John Winchester, had gone missing on a hunt. Dean knew that Sam possessed valuable hunting skills from their childhood and believed that Sam's help was crucial in finding their father. Without Sam, Dean probably never finds John. He follows dead-end leads, chases ghosts, literally and figuratively. The woman in white case that brought the brothers together in the pilot? Dean handles it alone, barely surviving because he doesn't have backup when she tries to kill him. But here's where it gets interesting. Dean becomes a different kind of hunter. He's more reckless because he doesn't have Sam to worry about. He's also more careful because he knows nobody's coming to save him if things go wrong. Dean develops into the ultimate lone wolf hunter, deadly, efficient, but completely isolated. Meanwhile, Sam graduates from Stanford with honors. At the beginning of the show, Sam is attending Stanford University as a pre-law student, which speaks to his intelligence for a kid who received a less than formal education. Sam was a student at Stanford University and was on the verge of beginning law school when Dean sucked him back into the life of a hunter. He'd won a full scholarship. In our timeline, nobody sucks him back in. Sam goes to law school, probably Harvard or Yale. He marries Jessica in a beautiful ceremony that Dean watches from the back, invisible to his little brother. Sam becomes a successful lawyer, maybe a prosecutor who specializes in cases involving missing persons or unsolved murders. But here's the thing about Sam Winchester. He can't completely escape his past. Even without hunting, Sam finds himself drawn to strange cases. He becomes known as the lawyer who takes on the weird stuff, the unexplained disappearances, the cases other attorneys won't touch. Sam doesn't know he's actually helping solve supernatural cases through legal means. Jessica never dies because Azazel has no reason to target her. Sam isn't in the hunting life, so there's no need to motivate him back into it. Jessica was killed by Brady on Azazel's orders in the pilot episode, partly because she was in the way for Sam to find his skills, partly to give Sam a reason to continue hunting. Without the threat of Sam returning to hunting, Jessica lives a full, happy life. But the real consequence of Dean not picking up Sam becomes clear when you look at what they accomplished together. The Winchester brothers stopped multiple apocalypses, saved the world dozens of times, and prevented the end of humanity on several occasions. Without Sam, Dean never develops the connections that made them so effective. He doesn't build relationships with angels like Castile, because he doesn't have Sam's ability to see the bigger picture. Dean stays focused on small-scale hunting, killing individual monsters instead of stopping world-ending threats. The demon army that the brothers fought in the early seasons? They probably succeed without the Winchester team to stop them. Lilith's plan to release Lucifer from his cage moves forward without interference because Dean alone can't track down and stop all the seals from breaking. Here's where things get really dark. Sam and Dean were prophesied to be the vessels for Michael and Lucifer during the apocalypse. Sam was predestined to be the true vessel of the fallen archangel Lucifer, whilst Dean was Michael's. In the original timeline, they said no to both angels and found a way to stop the apocalypse through free will. But what if they never work together? What if Sam doesn't even know about angels and demons when Lucifer gets free? Lucifer would find Sam completely unprepared for what's coming. Sam the lawyer has no idea he's been chosen as the devil's vessel. He has no training, no knowledge, no support system to help him resist. Meanwhile, Michael approaches Dean, but Dean without Sam is a different person. He's more bitter, more alone, more willing to say yes if it means finally having the power to save people effectively. Dean might actually agree to be Michael's vessel just to have a chance at winning for once. The apocalypse happens, but instead of being stopped by two brothers who chose love over destiny, it becomes a war between heaven and hell with unwilling human vessels who don't understand what they're caught up in. Eventually, the supernatural world would force its way into Sam's normal life. Maybe he starts having visions again, or maybe demons finally track him down. When audiences first met Sam in the pilot, he was attending Stanford and getting ready to start law school. However, when his girlfriend Jessica was killed, the death set in motion Sam's original journey. In our timeline, Jessica doesn't die, but something else happens. Maybe Sam starts having nightmares about Dean in danger. Maybe he sees news reports about strange deaths that he recognizes from his childhood. Maybe Castile finally appears to him and explains that the world needs both Winchester brothers, not just one. Sam would have to make a choice: continue his safe, normal life or give it all up to save a brother who walked away from him years ago. This creates a completely different dynamic than the original show. Instead of Sam being reluctantly dragged back into hunting, he'd have to actively choose to abandon everything he built. When Sam and Dean finally reunite, it's not as partners who never really separated. It's as strangers who happen to be brothers. Dean has become harder, more isolated, carrying scars from years of hunting alone. Sam has become softer in some ways, more connected to normal human emotions, but also more determined when he finally chooses to fight. Their reunion wouldn't be the smooth partnership we saw in the show. They'd have to relearn how to work together, how to trust each other, how to be brothers again. Dean would resent Sam for having a normal life while he suffered alone. Sam would be angry that Dean never gave him the chance to choose. But maybe that tension would make them stronger in the end. Maybe two brothers who chose each other after years apart would be more powerful than two brothers who never really separated. The real question this scenario asks is simple. Does love mean holding on or letting go? Dean's whole character is built around protecting Sam. But what if the best protection was staying away? What if letting Sam have a normal life was the most loving thing Dean could do? "I can't do it without my brother," he told Charlie about hunting. "I don't want to do it without my brother." This quote from Sam shows how much the brothers need each other. But what if that need was also what put them in danger? In our timeline, Sam gets the normal life he always wanted, but the world pays the price. Dean gets to protect his brother, but loses his partner and best friend. It's a tragedy disguised as a happy ending, a sacrifice that saves one person but dooms everyone else. Dean not picking up Sam from Stanford wouldn't just change their story, it would change the nature of heroism itself. Sometimes the hardest choice isn't fighting the monster. Sometimes it's walking away from the people you love to give them a chance at happiness, even if it means facing the darkness alone. And maybe that's the most Winchester thing of all, sacrificing everything, including each other, to save the people they care about most.